survived. She found the baby in the linen closet in the soiled utility room, thrown away by the parents who didn't want to hold it. She held it the 45 minutes until the baby died.
All right, let me ask you a question.
It horrifies me even to think about this case.
In the United States Senate, when an issue like this came up, what happened? Do you remember?
Yes, well, he also, it was the Illinois Senate, the one I know, which was the SB 230.
But my understanding is it came up in the U.S. Senate.
Right.
Largely the same form.
Yes.
He wasn't there to vote on it, or he was there, or you don't know?
That one I'd have to go back and really even look in the details.
But even NARAL, which is a radical left group, even NARAL said that they would stay silent on this. Even Boxer voted for this, if I understand correctly.
That's right. That was the one on the prevention of the partial birth abortions, I believe. Because Obama's got a history, he's been always against these bills designed to prevent partial birth abortions. And the partial birth abortions that was the Senate Bill 230, which he voted in the Illinois Senate against this 230, this bill designed to prevent partial birth abortions. Of course, in a partial birth abortion, the baby's delivered feet first.
All right, let me get this straight, though. So he opposed a bill to stop partial birth abortion.
Yes, he did, in 1997. It was Illinois Senate SB 230.
And he led the effort to block a vote on a statutory effort to prevent, to require that sustenance of some kind, some effort be made to save babies that are actually born. So partial birth. So he sits there. I don't know when life begins, but he sure as hell knows when it ends. It ends whenever he says.
And he said when he was in the Illinois State Senate, and until just recently, Obama has said that a woman's right to an abortion is absolute. In other words, no conditions placed. If the woman wants the abortion, regardless of the reason, inconvenience, she has an absolute right to an abortion. That extends even to if the child survives an attempt to kill it in an abortion, she still has a right to the abortion being finalized.
Let me ask you a question. It's more rhetorical than anything. I'm not Christian, but I have many dear Christian friends. Is there anything Christian? He says he's a Christian, which is a real tough question to ask. Well, he's a Christian, and you're attacked because you suggest maybe something else, or at least early on. Let me ask you a question, since these reporters are so curious. Where in any of Christianity does it support in fact, any religion that I can think of, other than the fundamentalist nut jobs running around killing anything that moves, any religion, even mainstream Islam, any religion that supports this kind of sickening activity to fellow human beings, any religion?
I can think of no religion that would support this kind of abhorrent practice. And certainly, I'm Roman Catholic. The Catholic Church would be virtually excommunicated for this kind of a position, maintaining it. I don't see how you could be a Catholic and maintain that these, a baby surviving a late-term labor-induced abortion should be allowed to be killed, or even these partial birth abortions.
Because you know what, Jerome? This goes to who you are.
Right.
This goes to who you are. You can talk all the crap about big government, all the crap about socialist health care, all the crap about we need more loans for this and loans for that. What about actually protecting human beings? And when he had his chance to stand up, he stood up and took the wrong side.
And this bill that he opposed on the Jill Stanek case was, the entire state wanted this bill passed. And it comes to Obama, and he's standing up, and then he voted present. He didn't have the courage to vote no. He voted present. This whole thing was a complete, by Obama, the standing up and opposing this bill because he didn't want the 14th Amendment Equal Protection Clause extended to the baby. In other words, he wouldn't accept this as a living human life, and demanded that it be considered a fetus because the mother wanted an abortion. The child was alive outside the womb. I mean, if he can't define that that's a life, then I know why he stuttered at Saddleback when Rick Warren asked him the question, because he was just trying to find...
Here, I want you to listen to this. We only have a piece of the excerpt. It would be cut 8, Rich. I want you to listen to this. Cut 8, Rick Warren first, go.
40 million abortions. At what point does a baby get human rights, in your view?
Well, I think that whether you're looking at it from a theological perspective or a scientific perspective, answering that question with specificity, is above my pay grade.
This is a coward. Now, this is a coward. This is a man, as you point out, who supported partial birth abortion.
Right.
This is a man, as you point out, who supported after-birth death. That's correct. I said it. Right. After-birth death, and he doesn't know when life begins. Well, he seems to have taken very aggressive positions in figuring that out, but he doesn't want to really say, does he? No. And then he calls the National Right to Life Committee, he calls them liars, and I'm going to say this tonight. He owes them an apology, and he owes them an apology right now, because they caught him, you caught him, everybody's caught him in this lie now.
That's right, and all he's trying to do there with Rick Warren is, again, politically calculate a lie in order to win votes. He doesn't want to tell the truth of his convictions over years, which he supports a woman's absolute
Well, you know
right
what,
to abortion.
Jerome, though? This is an historic election, Jerome.
Yeah.
It's a historic election. We all have to vote for Barack Obama because it's the right thing to do, and if you don't vote for him, we know why. It's not his position on humanity. It's not his position on taxes. It's not his absurd position in dealing with terrorist regimes. No, this is God's gift. God's gift, who stood for partial birth abortion and who stood for after-birth death. Now, let's be honest about it.
And Mark, I'll take all the abuse and more that I've gotten writing the Abomination just to get this truth out.
Well, thank you, my friend, and you did it. And God bless you, and thanks for coming on.
God bless you, Mark. Great honor and pleasure to be with you again.
All right. The book is The Abomination by Jerome Corsi. Don't listen to everybody else. Well, he said this, and this footnote's wrong, and he was standing on one leg. Read the book. The Abomination. Go to Amazon.com. We'll be right back.